How's it going, everyone? You're joining us today for our first Via Ferrata trip. For our first Via Ferrata ever, we chose the Katrin Klettersteig in Bad Ischl, Austria. The difficulty of this Via Ferrata is BC. We booked an accommodation right next to the Cablecar station, which takes you to the starting point of the Via Ferrata, the Bett Berg hotel. It had a self-check-in, lovely public area with a kitchen, a vending machine for snacks, and it has an indoor climbing gym. We left early in the morning from Czech Republic and we got to it at around noon. We made a decision to take the Katrin Cablecar, which gets you up in about 7 minutes, costs 27 euros for a round trip, and the last cable car goes down at 5 p.m. They have beautiful vintage cable cars, and I believe they opened back all the way in 1958. Apart from taking the cable car, you also have an option to hike up to the Ferrata starting point, but do be ready for a 3 to 4 hour hike uphill. Considering how late we got there, we would not have the time to go up, do a Ferrata and then go back down still in daytime. Whether you take the cable car or hike up, once you are at the top station of the cable car, you just gotta walk down the ski slope for about 5-6 minutes and follow the Klettersteig signs. In about those 10 minutes, you will see an entryway pointing towards the forest, and there will be a sign which marks the approach, and it lets you know that it will take around 40 minutes. Still on the approach. It's been going on for like half an hour now. We're continuing that way. Hopefully reach the Ferrata soon. See you before we start the Ferrata. One word of caution for our future Via Ferratas. We are 100% putting our helmets on right away as we started the approach, as we were walking through the forest, and all of a sudden a rock just flew past us at like Mach 5 speed. If that hit us, I don't know what would happen then. So please be careful, wear your helmet. After about 45 minutes, we have reached the start of the Via Ferrata. We geared up. I'm gonna make a separate video about the gear you need for a Via Ferrata another time. Since it is a BC difficulty, the majority of the time you either have big rocks to climb, rock ledges, or there are steel bolts poking out of the rock face. For anybody who's thinking of starting doing Via Ferratas, a fair bit of warning. We have been sport climbing for almost a year now, so we're used to heights, foot placement, and most of all, trusting our gear with our lives. So if you're a complete beginner, maybe do a couple of A and B difficulties first, or find some Via Ferrata climbing courses near you. So as Ferratas go, unless you do have some experience with climbing, I would not recommend the Katrin Klettersteig as a first Ferrata, especially for beginners. Maybe do 1 or 2 easier Ferratas and then definitely give it a shot. For example, my wife, who's used to climbing, had a really hard time for the first 20 minutes. Physically, she had no trouble, she's quite strong, but the rock, height, wind and sun exposure were affecting her mentally. The Katrin Klettersteig takes around 1 hour to ascend, but with breaks, having some snacks, taking photos and videos, some drone shots as well, it took us around 3 hours. And at about half point, you can put your name in the mountain book just as we did. I quite enjoyed my first Ferrata, and I believe my wife came to enjoy it towards the end as well. When we reached the cross marking the finish, it was already 4:50 p.m. and with the descent to the cable car being 20 to 30 minutes, we didn't have much hope, but the last thing we wanted was to hike 4 hours down after completing a Ferrata. So we started running towards the cable car station. Just did the first Ferrata. All the way up there. Now, last cable car is at 5. We are in a cable car and it's 5:15. Absolute legend of a guy let us go down. So now we have to check into the hotel. take a shower and find something to eat in the city. Once we were down from the cable car, we checked into the hotel and went to see what the city of Bad Ischl was all about. From the first look of it, it's a classic spa town in Austria. I could compare it to Karlovy Vary here in Czech Republic with all the thermal streams, spas, restaurants, a whole promenade that's right by the river. It was a lovely looking town, and of course, as such, expect a very overpriced but mediocre food. Can recommend the kebab, which at €5 was about 110 times better than the €60 restaurant meal that we had. Day 2. Klettersteig, or Via Ferrata. Number 2. We're heading towards the leadership Klettersteig. Approach should be 40 minutes. So we'll see you in hopefully just 40 minutes. We've set our sights on doing a second Via Ferrata of the trip. It was supposed to be the leadership Klettersteig, about 20 minutes by car from our hotel, so pretty close by. We got to the parking lot, found one tiny Klettersteig sign, and then wandering around the forest for about 2 hours made us eventually give up, and we decided to go paddleboarding on the Attersee. We're thinking of giving up. We've been at it for half an hour, maybe an hour. Can't find the fucking Ferrata. So, we'll see. Next time, you will either see us on a Ferrata, or you'll see us at Attersee. We'll see. Which is the biggest lake in Austria, and after so many years of going there, it's definitely our favorite destination in Austria. A beautiful lake, no weird sea creatures, we don't really enjoy the sea. It has nice restaurants all around, beautiful views all around, so it's just the perfect destination. Usually it is quite busy, but seeing as we were there at end of April, start of May, the water wasn't yet at a swimming temperature. There were a few brave people here and there, but since it was so cold, they were mostly chilling at the beach or playing volleyball, so it was ideal for paddleboarding. And I believe we spent at least around 4 hours on the lake just paddleboarding. We had a lovely time, had a dinner in one of the best, but also one of the most expensive restaurants that we've ever found. But it's well worth it. If you have the means, definitely try it. They always have a different menu every week, different specialties every week, so I can highly recommend. Alrighty, that's it for this video. It definitely was a nice experience. I can highly recommend getting into Via Ferratas. Like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. If you did, leave a comment below. What would you like to see us do? If you have some favorite Via Ferrata of your own, or if you have any other recommendations for a nice weekend adventure. I'll see you in the next one.